All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Sanjana, J&J's Fireside Chat Coordinator, and I'm here with Michael for another Fireside Chat. Michael, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for inviting me. Good to be here.
All right. So please tell us about your educational and professional backgrounds and the path that you took to get to where you are today.
Okay, well, education, I actually graduated from Fairleigh Dickinson University. I have a degree in construction engineering technologies, which is actually a cross between civil engineering and then project management. So there's a lot of crossover courses. I had the civil design, structural design, strength of materials, your surveying courses that you would have as a civil engineer. But then I took a lot of courses such as project management, scheduling, also estimating, and how to do spreadsheets and things like that. So there was a mix between the two disciplines, which I find to be very exciting. So I really enjoyed that course. And of course, once I graduated, I was very fortunate to get a job with a construction firm where I worked as an estimator right off the bat and was able to hone my skills. And again, learning from more senior estimators than myself. So it really helped to guide my path going forward from that point. I was fortunate to go from that company. Unfortunately, there was a time where in the 80s where companies were having difficulties. And the one I had gone with, that construction firm, went out of business, as a matter of fact, after I was there for about 2 years. That actually turned out to be a break for me, because then I landed up picking up a job with BASF. And I worked with them as an estimator, cost control engineer, and they hired me on to do their corporate headquarters in Mount Olive at the time, which was a huge project and one that I was able to work in the field. So I was part of the safety team, walking the job every day. Really got to understand construction by being out in the field, seeing what was going on, as well as running the costs for that project. It allowed me to have a very nice career there, where I was with them for almost 13 years before leaving and going on to Merck. And again, being in the estimating side of it. So I was able to utilize that knowledge, that estimating skill, from project to project to career. And after Merck and a couple other companies, including a stint at Goldman Sachs, where I was part of the team creating their new corporate headquarters in Lower Manhattan, a 44-story skyscraper. That was, again, an exciting job. And I was a vice president in charge of the interiors fit out of the project. So again, controlling costs, doing the estimates, negotiating changes with contractors. Very exciting to me. It's a career that has served me well. And again, finishing up that project, I landed up coming over to PSEG, where I now, after 7 years as a contractor doing cost control, I was able to move in there to the manager of their estimating group, which is my current position. And again, one that I have embraced and been able to grow into, taking a small group of estimators and now expanding it from 3 to 9 people at the moment, and increasing our workload and what we do in the company by helping out our gas group, our electric group, doing estimates for inside plant, for outside plant, and basically helping keep lights on, which is also another exciting part of my job.
Wow, that's amazing. Sounds like an awesome career, and sounds like something you're very interested in and have always been very interested in. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and I can honestly say that I still use what I learned in school. So I went to school for the career path that I landed up ultimately taking. And I know that, estimating in particular, not everybody goes to become an estimator. I have a lot of people work for me who have been electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, have taken other paths to land up in the estimating group. But I can honestly say that I went to school and picked up those skills and still apply them today. So
That's amazing. And especially as a college student, great to hear that. I'll definitely be using the skills I'm learning now later on.
there you go.
All right. So my next question for you is, did you have any significant extracurricular experiences in high school and or college that you feel really helped you later on in your career?
Well, it's funny. At the time, I didn't realize it, but in high school, I was part of the drama society, and particularly doing the backstage set construction and whatnot like that. And like I said, it didn't dawn on me at the time, but it did help me by teaching me scheduling, because you have to set scheduling for doing the work and getting it done by time of performance. Doing estimates for material you had to procure and how the budget you had to work with. So, again, didn't think about it at the time, but those are two traits you learn very quickly when you're doing the kind of work. And I did that both in high school and in college. So, I was able to build on that experience and get an enjoyment for the construction part of it. I actually, during the end of high school and college, worked my own business in construction, where I was doing small remodels, handyman work, that kind of thing. And that's what piqued my interest in going into construction engineering. I didn't want to be a full civil engineer. I wanted to, originally thought I was going to be growing my own business, but as it turned out, the career path I landed on turned out to be very, very good in the end. So
That's awesome. And I'm glad you mentioned sort of getting real world hands-on experience in the field that you wanted to go into. I think that's very important to do at some point before really stepping into the professional world.
definitely. Matter of fact, that would be something I would advise anybody is to, if you can get into an internship with a company, to get a feel for what actually happens. And again, I've been fortunate. I've had 3 interns since I started here at PS in the estimating group, and I think each one of them had a very good experience with us, and we're able to learn a lot. And again, the expectation is you have an intern coming in; they're coming in with no knowledge, so we're training them, we're teaching them. We have a very short window to do that, but each and every one we've had have been able to make a difference in the team, help out in some way, and leave a little bit of a legacy behind, on their path to finding their future.
I love that so much. All right. So my last question for you is, what advice would you give to young people who will be embarking on their professional lives soon?
I think one of the strongest tools, and matter of fact, I give the same advice to every intern we've had, is to start networking and network early. Going into an interview cold without having done a little bit of pre-work is never a good thing. You need to have an understanding of the company. You need to do your research on the company. And it doesn't hurt to get to know some people within a company before you get over there. So networking, like I said, I think is very important. Such networking tools such as LinkedIn is a nice professional tool that's in the digital age that works very well. I kind of compare it to like the professional Facebook, where you can reach out and contact someone that you might not necessarily talk to, but it gives you an opportunity to expand your horizon and see what else is going on. I think it's a little known fact, people would think that working for utility like I do, that you need to be an electrical engineer, or you need to be a lineman, or you need to, be a electrical trade, but it's not true. There are many jobs for mechanical engineers, civil engineers, as well as for estimators, for cost control folks, for schedulers. So there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of different backgrounds that are necessary. So reaching out to different disciplines, following different companies, learning about them, especially if you have an interest in joining them, I think is very important. The more you know about a company, the more research you do shows that you want to be there. And that goes a long way in an interview when you have someone who really has done the homework and shows that they want to be part of that organization.
Absolutely, I completely agree. I think you touched on some great points. Thank you for sharing. And thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much for being here. This session was amazing overall.
Thank you for inviting me, and I hope that I have a little bit of impact in someone's future.
Absolutely.